Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lift every voice and sing. Beautiful hymn. If you look at the third stanza carefully, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, Lord, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Powerful, powerful words means we have to keep on keeping on. But it also means that the Lord has lifted people to their righteous and equal place. We know we must keep striving. You know, Martin Luther King is one of the heroes of mine. First of all, we think about Martin Luther King, and sometimes we think about the public policy accomplishments, which were huge. But they were, frankly, in my opinion, a manifestation of his amazing faith. Reverend Martin Luther King. Reverend Martin Luther King. Man of God. Martin Luther King's motivations, his strong faith, his morality, all flowed from the power of the Old and the New Testament. He was rooted in the power of the Old and the New Testament. And Martin Luther King, in my opinion, allowed himself to be plugged into the greatest generator of the world, and that is the connection with the Almighty. When individuals and human beings are able to literally connect themselves, to plug them into the generator and the circuit of the Lord, it's amazing what they can accomplish. You know, Martin Luther King didn't start out as the great Reverend Martin Luther King. He was a reverend in a church. But for some reason, the Lord took him and plugged him in to his power. And he maintained it because he maintained his humility. And he sought to serve the Lord. His heart was not drunk with the wine of the world. He did not stray from the places where he met the Lord. And it's so easy for all of us to stray from the places where we meet the Lord and to let the wine of the world and the distractions of the world keep us from improving this world. Martin Luther King was a man of nonviolence. God tells us to love even those who hate us. He could achieve it. Oh, I mean, for all of us who face criticisms and personal attacks and something posted on Facebook or whatever, compare that to beatings. Compare that to being gassed. Compare that to the dogs being set on you. Compare that to sitting in prison. And Martin Luther King told his followers, and a great leader has to have great followers. He told his followers, we will not respond in kind. The Lord doesn't want us, when we experience violence, to respond in violence. If I'm slapped in the face 7 times I shall forgive. Am I right, Reverend? Wow. He never lost the hope and the faith and the power of the Lord. A young shepherd boy showed up on the battlefield one day to face a 9-foot Goliath. And the king told the shepherd boy, "You put the helmet on and you put my armor on." And the young shepherd boy walked around in circles. He couldn't fight. He said, "My power does not lie in the helmets or the armor. My power rests in the Lord Almighty." And he slayed that Goliath and became a king, a man in God's own heart. So was Dr. King. Dr. King slayed Goliath. It was the Goliath of hatred and prejudice. It's amazing in America it was so soon that went on, and it is amazing that even today that racism, discrimination exists in this society. And that's why we cannot permit ourselves to be drunk on the wine of the world. Was there anything more inspiring than Martin Luther's letter from the Birmingham jail? "No law of man that doesn't square with the law of God is just or moral." Read it. Read that letter. I say that he's an inspiration to me because as a man with feet of clay, I don't want to be drunk on the wine of the world. I want to be in a position to have an office like this, to do the things that make him smile. In our state, we're now 132,000 jobs, which means 132,000 families are better. To me, the greatest moral issue in America today is giving a man or a woman a chance to have a job and to find their God-given destiny. We're winning, but we were down a lot in the first half. Got a long way to go. Education. Pretty soon we'll be unveiling a plan to give our kids a chance to be educated and to have opportunity. There's no place in that exercise in considering politics. You don't distribute resources on the basis of who's going to like you and who's not. You distribute resources on the basis of making sure that every child in our state has an opportunity to compete with every other child in the state. And it's pretty easy when you strip the politics out. In higher education, we strive to graduate more students. We know that the student graduation rates are low across the board, but for minorities, they're unacceptably low. But yet our universities and our colleges have made a commitment to change the emphasis from enrollment to graduation. Give our people a degree, you give them hope. You give them a chance. And speaking of hope and a chance, collateral sanctions and sentencing reform. It's sat on the docket for 25 years. But we believe that people deserve a second chance. We don't believe that the solution to all these problems is to lock somebody up in a state prison. Nonviolent offenders don't belong there. Well, they've got to pay the price for their penalty. But we can do it in a way that allows them to have a second chance. And with collateral sanctions, so many of our folks who have made an effort to rehabilitate their lives found themselves stuck in no man's land. Those laws are changed today in the state of Ohio. I believe it represents more justice for all Ohioans and particularly for those minorities who have been caught in that Never Never Land. And you know, when the sun broke through one day, when the legislature was able to work along with the administration, along with the great people of Cleveland, to set the children free in the Cleveland public schools, working with the community, the business leaders, the unions, the concerned moms and dads, and the teachers. And I hope that what happened in Cleveland is going to provide the inspiration to school districts all over Ohio to put children first, and to remember that public education is about children and not about adults. And we work aggressively on giving minorities an opportunity to share in the business of the state of Ohio. For too long, the law's been on the books. Lip service. I don't like lip service. Tell me the truth. Level with me. Tell me what we're going to do. And our director, Bob Blair, is working to make sure that minorities can share in the contracting business of the state of Ohio in an aggressive way. You see, because we're now asking our departments at the beginning of the planning process to figure out how to include minorities so we can grow more businesses and spur more entrepreneurship in our state. It's a spectacle of what Dr. King was able to do in his life. You think about Dr. King, you think about William Wilberforce. These are great men who accomplished great things. But let them not just be in a history book. Let them be a burning flame who can inspire all of us against what at times can seem to be impossibly long odds. And let's not forget the fact that at the end of the day, the Lord is in charge. And if we can remember Him on the road where we met Him and meet Him regularly in a humble and contrite way, we can make this world a better place for everyone. God bless you.